Good morning. Sunday, December 29th. You with your boy Doug. Couple more days for the end of 2024, and we'll be bringing in that brand new year. How you guys doing this morning? Good morning to those born today, Sunday, December 28th. And my condolences go out to those who did not wake up today, December 28th, 2024. My condolences. So what's up, guys? I hope you have a dry Sunday. It's been wet the whole weekend, and I've been like low-key trying to avoid the bad weather. But I got a phone call today. I picked up the phone. I said, well, hello. I said, what's up, your boy? This is Doug. I said, yeah, this is Doug. I said, who is it? He said, this your boy, Money. I said, Money. Been a long time no see, bro. What's up? He said, nothing. He said, would you come pick me up? I said, I'd be glad to. So I'm on my way to pick up Money. Y'all feel me? If it wasn't for Money, I'd still be in the house watching the rain. So that's what we up to, guys. We up to the Monday. Let me see. Yeah, I need some gas. Y'all know I use my Gas Buddy card. Find gas. Where's the okay. Amoco ain't up here? We got an Amoco now, and they're not in the list. Amoco, they're not on here yet. Let me see. Amoco, AMOCO, in Loganville. It's right down the street, and they can't find it. Buying gas. All right, since y'all want to act all stupid. Clear. We've got 268 at Citgo. $268 at Citgo. Activate the card. Skip. Get my card. Go to gasbuddy.com, get your card. I have it put my savings straight into my savings account. It's got automatic. All right, we're off to Austell. That is the west side of Atlanta. To go see Deborah Bentley, and we're gonna fix her water inlet valve on her Whirlpool refrigerator. Because tomorrow I gotta go the east side of Atlanta, which is gonna be McDonough. So I don't want to be on the east side driving to the west side. So we might as well go make this paper right quick. I need to stop at Walmart. Y'all remind me to stop at Walmart. I need some Pam. Because when I make my eggs, I don't like scraping my pans when I clean up behind myself. Let's see if it's in here. Call Genesis.
All right, calling Genesis mobile phone. Forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
There go Amico right there. I can't even find it. They 279 anyway, so supposed to drop that off. Running around with my bag. Down here. Right here, this 264 instead of 279, it'd be 264. This is my shortcut to this gas station. Cut through here. Miss all those lights on 78. Come out through the back way past our liquor store. That's our liquor store called Legacy Beverage Center. Past it, come out way down 78. And it's a quarter mile down from the liquor store. Weeping Willow. That goes back. Where it go? Then I turn left here and I'm way down 78. I missed a whole lot of lights. Glad I'm up early before everybody wakes up. That means I can have a smooth transition where I need to be going. Chevron or Sicko? Sicko. Yep, it sure is. Slow down, big boy. So that's 279 minus 10, so 269, 268, 266 is what I end up paying here. Pump not available, use card. Yeah. Pump not available, use card inside. They need to fix this shit, man. They have pump issues. Okay, what it says here. Leave card inserted for chip processing. The gas pedal. Some gas in this mofo. It gives you almost 4 hours to get to the pump, so ain't like it was a rush. I go right to the pump, get my gas, do what I gotta do, go see money. I'm gonna go see money, pick money up, bring money home, and I'm done for the day. And then tomorrow I gotta go to McDonough, so we'll be going to a place called Encompass Parts. Pick up the part for McDonough, and then bam, I'll be open to jobs. I mean, it's been pretty busy, man, this holiday season. Plus, congratulations to me, I signed 2 new contracts to be retired. I've been pretty damn busy, so I thank God for that. You can let me do more things while I get my retirement, my Social Security. I can do what I do. Do what I do. Let's put some gas in this motherfucker and we going to Austell. It shouldn't take me no more 10-15 minutes. And we'll be done. Okay, we're gonna stop right there. Boy, I'll be glad when Trump gets in office so he can drill, baby, drill, and these prices go back down where they're supposed to be, because we got the most oil in any country. There's no reason why we should be paying out our ass for gas when we have more oil in the ground under our feet than anybody known in any country. We got more. All right. Let's roll, y'all. Y'all ready? Let's get it.
You want this rebound, you gonna have to touch my penis. No, no, no. Sometimes you just gotta be able to laugh. They had Michael Samms come out. He finna be first gay NFL player. And when that shit came out, everybody had an opinion. He was right here, and everybody over there had an opinion, and everybody over there had an opinion. But nobody's opinion was solid. They go up to the player, do you care that your teammate is gay? Hell no. I don't care what he chooses to do with his own personal life. As long as he comes in here ready to win championships and knows the playbook, then we have a teammate.
It would be fair to say that, sir, based on policies that have been implemented.
And that man's name is Joe Biden, isn't it?
That would be a fair assessment, yes, Senator.
Under President Biden, if you wait in line for legal immigration, you're a chump, aren't you?
When you look at the benefits that have been given to people and the speed at which they've been released into the United States, I would be chagrined if I were waiting.
You're a chump, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
General,
Yes,
you
sir.
believe in open borders, don't you?
I believe in the rule of law, sir.
Right. And it makes you angry that President Trump does not believe in open borders, doesn't it?
Senator, I'm not here to discuss immigration policy. I'm here to discuss whether or not we use the military to enforce it.
And it makes you angry that most Americans don't believe in open borders, doesn't it?
Not in the slightest, sir. Again, I am not here to discuss the immigration policy.
Yeah. Duty, honor, respect, you talked about that
Yes,
in
Senator.
your opening statement. On October 14th of this year, you went on CNN. I want to read you what you said, make sure I'm accurate. Here's what you said. President Trump is not like any sane leader. I'm very proud of General Milley for saying that President Trump is a total fascist. To Bob Wood, if he as chairman of the Joint Chiefs is calling the president a fascist, I'm so proud of him for breaking that barrier. The challenge is because most MAGA Republicans, they don't understand what fascism is. The reality is that they are in fact fascists themselves. Did I read that accurate?
Senator, I am happy to discuss my personal perspective with you separately at any time. That's not the purpose of the hearing today.
Did I read that accurately?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. You think you're smarter than the American people, don't you?
Absolutely not, Senator. I am here to discuss the use of the military as part of this massive deportation.
You think you're more virtuous than the American people, don't you, Jim?
Senator, I am insulted by your comment.
Duty, honor, and respect. You talked about that in your opening statement, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Moran said, I wrote down her words. She said, by their actions, you know what someone's character is like. You agree with that?
Senator, for 35 years, I served my country with absolute honor and distinction, and I will continue to do so.
You agree with what Ms. Moran said?
Of course.
Mr. Got a few minutes left.
23 seconds.
Well, actually, you let Ms. Klobuchar go well over, so I'm assuming you'll extend me the
I'll
same.
give you the same minute I gave to her.
You gave it a minute 20 at the time.
You're using.
I watched you like a hawk, Dick. Mr. Melnick, Mr. Reichland Melnick, you believe in open borders too, don't you?
I do not, Mr. Kennedy.
On November 1st, 2022, you tweeted, both Texas and Louisiana have their knives out for black immigrants. Do you remember that tweet?
I don't, but it's quite possible.
What Texans, it's not only possible, it happened. You're not denying it, are you?
No, I'm saying, referring
What
to the
Texans?
context.
Who
I
are you
actually
talking
don't
to?
know the
Who
context.
are you talking to about who in Texas had their knives out for black immigrants?
Guessing the context, but my suspicion is
Give
that
me
it
a
has to
name.
do the
Give me a
Attorney
name.
General Ken Paxton and
Give
the
me a
Attorney
name.
General of
Give me a
Louisiana.
name.
I just did.
You don't have a name, do you?
I just said Ken Paxton.
You don't have a name, do you? You just said it. didn't you?
Just said Ken Paxton.
All right, how about Louisiana? You said Louisiana has its knives out for black immigrants. Who in Louisiana were you talking about?
Again, I'm not certain. That was 2 years ago, and as I'm sure you know, much has happened in the last 2 years.
Well, did you say it?
Again, I do not remember the context.
But you don't.
Senator
You
Kennedy.
said somebody had their knives out from Louisiana for black immigrants, but you don't know who they were. You just said it.
I said the Attorney General of Louisiana and Texas, and I believe this referred to specifically lawsuits brought and arguments that were made in court that the arrival of Haitians
I'm out
and
of time,
others
but I
were
want to get you
inherently
on the
dangerous,
record.
which was
You
not
Thank you very much, Senator.
believe
Appreciate
that the
your
Attorney
questions.
General at that time of Louisiana had his knives out for black immigrants. That's your testimony.
given their
Thank you,
litigation
Senator Kennedy.
conduct. Yes.
Does anybody disagree with the following statement? America has a right to limit how many people can come into our country.
No.
Nobody disagrees with that. Good. Mr. Toure, very successful life. You have much to be proud of. During the 4 years of the Trump administration, were you ever, anybody suggest you should be deported?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. No.
Okay. Do you support deporting the 1.2 million people who have been through the system, have a final order of removal? Do you support them leaving?
Senator, I'm a prosecutor. I go after.
No, I didn't ask you if you're a prosecutor. Do you support them leaving?
I support people that have committed serious crimes.
Do you support the people who have gone through the system, been denied, had their day in court, final order removal? Do you support them leaving?
If you have
As a
committed
prosecutor, as a rule of law person?
if you have committed a serious crime in this country,
That's not the question. So, is it your belief that every non-criminal in the world can come to America?
No.
How many people want to come to America that are non-criminals? Probably hundreds of millions, and I understand why. It's a great country. So my point is, if you're not willing to say that we're going to deport you after you've had your full day in court, you're facing a final order of deportation, we're going to incentivize people to come forever. Mr. Melnick, is that right? How many people did Ronald Reagan provide amnesty to?
Estimates are roughly 2.7 to 3 million.
How many illegal immigrants are in the country today?
I said roughly 13 million of them.
Okay,
Don't have the
I
exact
would say that
estimates.
the last thing we want to do is give amnesty to people here now because we'll be overrun. Mr. Arthur, would you describe the last 4 years as mass illegal immigration coming to our borders?
I believe that that's fair characterization, Senator.
Does anybody disagree that the last 4 years has resulted in mass illegal immigration directed toward America? Because if this is not mass, what the hell would be? Now, how do you answer mass illegal immigration? You start enforcing the laws, Ms. Moran said, and you start sending people back who've had their day in court. You can't answer the question, and I respect you. You've been able to take the opportunity to make something of yourself, but we're passing on just constant disorder. If you can't say you should be deported after you've had a full hearing, everything been available to you, and you lose, and it's hard to say you need to go, we don't have an immigration system. General, how many people have been deployed to the border by governors to assist in border security from the National Guard?
Sir, I don't have that information.
Okay, there's thousands. Is that illegal use of the National Guard?
It is not the illegal use of the National
It's legal, right?
Guard. That is correct.
Yeah, I agree with you there. What's the largest cause of death in America for young people? Does anybody know? Mr. Arthur.
Drug poisoning overdose deaths.
Coming from a drug called fentanyl?
That is correct,
Mainly.
sir.
Okay, where does that drug come from?
That drug,
China.
reports indicate that it's made from precursors that come from the People's Republic of China, assembled in Mexico, and largely smuggled into the United States over the Southwest.
General Manner, do you consider illegal immigration a national security problem?
I believe that it is something that ICE and CBT needs to address.
No, I ask you, is it a national security problem?
I think it's a concern, yes.
Okay, I do too. And they're the highest number of people on the terrorist watch list in our country today. At the end of the day, the number of people being killed in America by drug poisoning is coming from labs and cartels in Mexico. General Manner, does the president have the authority to attack a drug lab in Mexico that's making fentanyl to kill American citizens?
I am not a legal expert, Senator, and I do not know.
So here's what I would say. I think we need to be tough, compassionate, but end this crap. If you're trying to poison America, you're a drug cartel, your days are numbered. We're coming after you, hopefully working with Mexico. If you've had your full day in court and you lost, it's time for you to go and try to do it right. We have to break this endless cycle of having policies that entice people to come to our country illegally, because that is the lack. We're losing sovereignty and losing control over our nation. There are too many people being hurt from this out of control system. So how do you deal with mass illegal immigration? You start with mass deportation of people who shouldn't be here. Mr. Toure, I think President Trump was pretty clear about DACA. But what do we tell the kids who've been brought here in the last year who are 7 years old? Do you ever break this chain? So I'm hoping, Mr. Chairman, that once we regain control of our border and try to shut down the poisoning of America, we can have a logical, rational discussion about dreamers and others. But until we control that border, until we get control over the crime coming into this country, into the poisoning of America, that discussion cannot happen. I've worked with you and others for decades to fix a broken immigration system. The way the Biden administration's handled this border problem has created a nightmare for our country. And there's a reason 70% of the people want deportations. It's not because they're mean. They want to bring order to chaos. Thank you.
The vast majority of immigrants and undocumented immigrants who are contributing so much to this country, they deserve better. Thank you.
Senator Tillis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to paint a picture of the crisis at the border and what the incoming administration has to deal with. Roughly 8 million people came into this country illegally from the outgoing administration's border policies. 8 million. Does anyone find that acceptable? I'm going to give you all a chance to answer that question shortly. The American people elected a new president in large part to secure the border and deport people who came illegally under their predecessor. So to my Democratic colleagues, how many illegal immigrants being deported by the new administration would you find objectionable? Mr. Melnick, I'll ask you, 1 million?
I think 1 million would be a disaster.
2 million?
Again, considering we're talking about law-abiding people who've been here for decades, I think that is enough that would have severe negative ramifications for the United States.
3 million?
Same answer.
5 million?
Same answer, even worse ramifications.
Do you think it would be fair or moral to deport any illegal immigrants?
Yes, I'm not a supporter of open borders, as I said before.
Well, I'm kind of curious. what your position was back during the Obama administration, when that's exactly what he did. I'm not reading what Trump intends to do. I'm reading exactly what President Barack Obama did when he came into office and deported nearly 5 million people, or in excess of 3 million people. So at that time, were you involved politically or in this space at the time that Obama was here? How old were you back then?
I was a graduate of law school and was working at the time.
Were you opining on deportations at that time?
I was not.
Do you believe that President Obama made a grave, horrible, inhumane mistake by deporting those folks?
Well, it wasn't 5 million
in under
people.
the Bush administration.
It wasn't 5 million people. When we're looking at
it was over 3
ICE
million. So
deportations.
let's not split hairs.
Actual numbers are closer to 1.5 internal ICE deportations. And
but
there
you
as
said
well,
that was immoral. So you said President Obama was immoral and inappropriate to deport those million people. Is that what I heard you say?
There were many people
it's a yes, no
under his
question.
administration that should not have been. Yes.
Look, I don't normally get into these antagonistic sorts of discussions here, but it needs to be said because you just a month ago said at the turn of the century, Jim Crow was legal, lynchings were at their highest level in the U.S. history, women couldn't vote, the infant mortality rate was 165 per 1,000, and the average life expectancy was 47. And we also had quasi-open borders. That part wasn't bad. So let me tell you what I tell everyone who comes in this room and has the polarizing testimony, sir, that you have had. You're a part of the problem. I'm a part of a group of people here who have said, as the president did, incidentally, on Sunday, he believes there should be a path for dreamers. We're demonizing President Trump for something he may or may not do, but he has said to his Republican base he believes that there should be certainty for dreamers. He's also said that we have to have a secure border. And as long as the border is not secure, people like me who try to treat people who are in the state that they are here with respect and understanding some of the issues that Mr. Padilla brought up, you cause people to go into their corners and get nothing done. That is why Chair Durbin has not been able to fulfill the promise on Dreamers every single year he's tried for the last 20, because people like you make it impossible to have let me finish, and then I'll let you speak as long as the chair wants to, have a rational discussion about it. Because if we don't secure the border, I can't get a path to citizenship for the DACA population. If we don't secure the border, I can't get Democrats and Republicans to come together and give certainty to the dreamer population. Are there any dreamers in the room? Raise your hand if you are. All right. Well, this is a part of the problem, ladies and gentlemen. You have an incoming Republican president who just said as late as Sunday that he's prepared to give you certainty. But we have people here demonizing him for asking the reasonable question of, can't we all agree that we need to secure the border? So if you are sincerely, I don't know how you make your money. I don't care what your political motives are. But number one, I would really appreciate it to say, if you would go out on social media and say that the President Obama did a horrible disservice to those people he deported, and he's as wrong-minded as every other Republican who said we've got to secure the border, deport people, because you can't have one being okay and the other one not being okay. And if you don't come to the table and recognize in a world where, 100 years ago, it was probably safe to have a quasi-open border because the world order was changing and we emerged as a world leader. But today, we have terrorists that can fly from the Middle East, land in Mexico, and come across the border in less than 24 hours. We're not living in Ellis Island anymore. We've got a problem that can't be solved, and people like you are creating more obstacles to people like me who are willing to take hits from my own party to satisfy what people like Donald Trump want to get done. Thank you.
Elections have consequences. For the last 4 years, we have seen the most radical experiment in open borders this nation has ever seen. There are many reasons the American people showed up in overwhelming numbers to vote, to re-elect Donald Trump, to elect a Republican majority in the Senate, to re-elect a Republican majority in the House, but there was no reason more front and center than the open borders of the last 4 years. And I have to say, I think there were a number of us wondering, did any of the Democrats in Congress learn anything from the election? And the existence of this hearing makes very clear the answer is no. We've seen 12 million people come into this country illegally under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Texas has seen Democrat for over read this election. Every single day, we have seen Americans murdered. We have seen women raped. We have seen children brutalized by criminal illegal aliens released deliberately by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. The numbers are staggering. According to ICE, as of July 21st, 2024, nearly 650,000 criminal illegal aliens were currently on ICE's have been released.
Know someone until life strips away the mask they wear for the world. Now, let me ask you, what would you see if you look beyond the surface? True character isn't revealed in comfort or convenience. It's exposed in how a person treats others, responds to challenges, and acts when no one's watching. Today, we're going to uncover the 5 key moments that tell you everything you need to know about a person's true nature. Pay attention, because this insight could change how you view the people around you and maybe even yourself. 1, how they treat people who can't do anything for them. This right here is a cornerstone of character. You want to know who someone really is? Watch how they treat the waiter at the restaurant. Observe how they interact with the janitor, the receptionist, or the person holding the door open for them. It's easy to be kind and polite to someone who's in a position of power or influence, someone who can advance your career or make your life easier. But what about the person who has nothing to offer in return? True character doesn't show up when someone's being watched or when they have something to gain. It reveals itself in those small, seemingly insignificant moments when there's no expectation of reward. How someone treats those who can't do anything for them speaks volumes about their values and their understanding of the world. A person of integrity treats everyone with respect, not just the people they think are important. Here's the thing about respect, it's not transactional. It's not something you give because you want something in return. It's something you extend because you recognize the inherent dignity of every human being. The janitor working late at night to keep the office clean, they deserve just as much respect as the CEO sitting in the corner office. The barista making your coffee during the morning rush, they're just as worthy of your kindness as the client you're meeting later that day. When someone dismisses or mistreats others just because they think they're above them, it's a red flag. It shows a lack of empathy, a misunderstanding of what it means to be human. People like that might project an image of success or authority, but underneath it all, their character is shallow. They measure others based on status or utility rather than on shared humanity. Now let's flip that around. When someone takes the time to be kind, even when there's no benefit to them, it's not just a nice gesture, it's a reflection of a solid foundation. It's the kind of action that speaks louder than any words. A simple thank you to the person cleaning the office, a genuine smile to the cashier at the grocery store, or holding the door open for someone in a hurry. These aren't grand gestures, but they carry immense weight. People who understand the value of humanity over hierarchy are the ones you can trust. They're the ones who don't just act with integrity when it's convenient, they live it every day. These are the people who recognize that life isn't about climbing over others to get to the top, but about lifting others as you climb. They know that treating someone with respect doesn't cost anything but can mean everything. When you see someone consistently treating others with kindness and dignity, regardless of their status, you're seeing the kind of character that doesn't waver under pressure. That's the kind of person who will stand by their principles, even when the world tests them. They don't need an audience to do the right thing. They do it because it's who they are. Character is built in the quiet moments, in the decisions no one else sees. It's in how you greet the janitor, thank the waiter, or acknowledge a stranger who held the door open for you. These small everyday interactions might seem insignificant, but they reveal so much. They show whether someone views others as equals or as stepping stones, whether they see people as valuable in themselves or only as means to an end. So when you're trying to understand someone's character, pay attention to how they treat those who can't offer them anything. It's a simple yet profound litmus test, because kindness without expectation, respect without conditions, these are the hallmarks of a person who truly understands what it means to live with integrity. That's the kind of person who values humanity, not hierarchy. And that's the kind of person worth knowing. 2, how they react under pressure. You really want to see what someone's made of? Put them under pressure. It's easy to smile and act composed when everything's going well, when life is smooth and there are no obstacles in sight. But when the stakes are high, when the stress kicks in, that's when you see the real person emerge. Pressure doesn't build character, it reveals it. When life throws challenges at you, how do you respond? Do you stay calm and composed, or do you let the stress overwhelm you? Do you take ownership of your actions, or do you start pointing fingers and blaming others for your circumstances? These moments under pressure are where true character is tested. The same holds true for those around you. Watch how they handle adversity. Do they crumble under the weight of expectations, or do they rise to the occasion? Do they let their emotions dictate their every move? Or do they take a breath, pause, and think before acting? Character isn't just about how someone performs when everything is going smoothly. It's about how they navigate the stormy waters. A person with a strong character doesn't shy away from pressure. They don't let it define them, they let it refine them. When the world feels like it's closing in, when everything seems uncertain, their true essence begins to show. It's in those difficult moments that you witness their resilience, their ability to remain grounded, and their unwavering commitment to staying true to their values. It's easy to display a facade of confidence when things are going well. You can wear a mask of composure when everything is working in your favor. But under pressure, the mask slips away, revealing who you truly are. A person with depth doesn't fold under pressure, they harness it as a tool for growth. The way someone handles adversity speaks volumes about their character. In times of crisis, do they retreat into fear or embrace the challenge head on? Do they collapse under the weight of the unknown, or do they rise with determination to face it? Pressure, in all its forms, serves as a mirror, reflecting not just our capabilities, but our inner strength. When the pressure is on, it can be tempting to act impulsively, to react emotionally, and to seek shortcuts that lead to short-term gains. But the person with a solid character understands that long-term success is built on principles, not immediate gratification. They know that integrity is not something reserved for easy times. It's a commitment they uphold, even when the path is difficult. Character is not a quality you switch on and off. It is cultivated in the moments no one sees, the hours spent honing self-discipline, the thoughts considered carefully before speaking, and the choices made that align with your true values. And when pressure mounts, that's when all of these quiet practices come to light. A person who navigates pressure with poise doesn't simply endure, they thrive. They don't let adversity cripple them, they allow it to sharpen their focus and refine their purpose. They recognize that challenges are not roadblocks, but stepping stones to higher ground. Pressure can break some people, but it also strengthens others. The way you handle it reveals who you are at your core. And while it's tempting to retreat into comfort or seek easy solutions, the truly remarkable individuals are those who understand that growth lies on the other side of challenge. So the next time you find yourself under pressure, remember that it's not the weight that defines you, it's how you carry it. Let pressure be the forge that shapes your character, because the strongest steel is formed in the hottest fire. 3, what they do when no one is watching. This is one of the truest tests of character. What do you do when nobody's looking? When there's no audience, no applause, no one to hold you accountable for your actions? What kind of decisions do you make? It's easy to present the best version of ourselves when we know someone is watching. We polish our words, we filter our thoughts, and we put forth the image we believe others expect. But character, true character, isn't defined by what we do when people are watching. It's defined by what we do when no one is looking. Integrity is the foundation of genuine character. It's about making the right choices even when it's inconvenient, even when it's difficult, even when no one will ever know the truth. True strength lies in doing what's right, not because of recognition or rewards, but because it aligns with your values and principles. Think about it for a moment. If someone cheats when they believe no one is watching, if they lie when they think they can get away with it, what does that say about them? It says they're driven by self-interest rather than grounded in integrity. It says they're more concerned with appearances and external validation than with the substance of their character. The consequences of such actions may not always be immediate or visible, but they do shape a person over time. Every small compromise, every slight deviation from honesty when no one is looking chips away at the foundation of who we are. Integrity is not built in moments of glory, but in the silent, unseen moments where no one is present to acknowledge our choices. On the other hand, someone who consistently chooses to do what's right, even in private, demonstrates a deeper understanding of character. This individual values consistency over convenience, substance over superficiality. They are driven not by the applause of others, but by a commitment to their true self and the values they hold dear. Consider the decisions they make when faced with temptation, when they have the opportunity to take shortcuts, bend the rules, or benefit at the expense of others. Even if no one will ever know, they stand firm in their principles. This is the hallmark of character, acting with integrity in the absence of external validation. Trust is built on such actions. We look to those who consistently make honorable choices, not because they seek admiration, but because they are true to themselves. Trustworthy individuals are those who live in alignment with their values, irrespective of external circumstances. In a world where social media and public perception often dominate, it's easy to be swayed by what others think. Yet the most impactful lives are often lived quietly, away from the spotlight, where actions speak louder than words. Genuine character thrives in the simplicity of doing what is right for its own sake, where no one is watching and no one is clapping. It is these unobserved moments that define who we truly are. Integrity becomes our guiding light in the darkness, illuminating the path of authenticity when no one else is there to guide us. We may not always be perfect, and we will face moments of weakness, but it is in those moments that our true character is either revealed or strengthened. When no one is looking, it's tempting to take the easier path, to compromise, or to ignore what is right. But those who understand the true value of character rise above such temptations. They choose to act with honor because they understand that integrity is not a show, it's a way of life. Ultimately, character is not about what others see, it's about what we choose to do when no one is watching. It's the unwavering commitment to our values, the authenticity in our choices, and the consistency in our actions that form the foundation of a life lived with integrity. And in those moments, we find who we really are, not for the sake of validation, but for the sake of truth, for how they handle success. Now, success has a way of changing people. For some, it becomes a platform for growth, a means to reach new heights while staying grounded. It brings out the best in them: generosity, humility, and a deeper focus on giving back. For others, though, success can reveal something entirely different. It has a way of inflating the ego, exposing a sense of entitlement that was lying dormant just beneath the surface. When you witness someone achieve greatness, pay close attention to how they handle their wins. Do they remain humble, or do they allow success to cloud their judgment? Do they continue to share, collaborate, and uplift others, or do they hoard their achievements, cutting others out of the journey? These are the moments where character is truly tested. True character doesn't emerge in the absence of struggle, it reveals itself in times of triumph. When someone reaches the pinnacle of success, their actions and choices tell a story of who they really are. It's not just about the achievements that are important, but what matters more is how those achievements are used. Are they leveraged to inspire, to empower, and to lift others? Or do they become a tool for exclusion, a symbol of superiority? Real success, the kind that leaves a lasting impact, is not just about personal achievement, it's about how that success translates into creating value for others. When someone forgets their roots, loses touch with the struggles they once faced, and begins to look down on the people who helped them reach where they are, that's where the true test lies. Success doesn't merely reveal character, it serves as a mirror reflecting the depth of an individual's values and integrity. When climbing the ladder of success, it's easy to get caught up in the accolades, the admiration, and the perceived power that comes with it. But those who truly understand success know that it's not about the accolades, it's about the impact. Character is shaped in moments of success, when no one is watching, when no one is around to applaud or praise. It's how someone treats others when they are at the top that defines their true essence. Do they lift others, celebrate their achievements, and recognize the collective journey that got them there? Or do they isolate, disregard, and forget the people who played a role in their success? The humble always carry a sense of gratitude. They acknowledge that their journey wasn't a solo endeavor. They understand that success is often a reflection of the people who believed in them, the mentors who guided them, and the community that supported them. They use their influence to empower others, sharing their knowledge, resources, and opportunities. On the contrary, those who let success inflate their ego often fall into a trap of entitlement. They begin to view others as mere stepping stones to their own greatness. They forget that true strength lies in collaboration, in fostering relationships, and in recognizing the value of community. Success isn't something that isolates, it's something that unites when used purposefully. Real success, the kind that leaves a legacy, is not just about what you achieve, it's about the impact you create. When someone reaches the top, it's not about sitting in a throne of achievement, but rather standing with others, shoulder to shoulder, lifting everyone higher. Success that leaves a mark is inclusive, not exclusive. So the next time you witness someone's success, watch how they handle it. Notice if their humility remains intact, if their gratitude is genuine, and if their actions reflect a commitment to making a positive difference. Because when success is met with integrity, it becomes a tool for real, lasting transformation both for the individual and those around them. 5. How they face temptation. Temptation is one of life's great equalizers. No matter who you are, where you come from, or what you've achieved, it will find you. It doesn't care about your status, your intentions, or your plans. It's always there, waiting for a moment of vulnerability. The true measure of someone's character is revealed not in how they behave when everything is smooth, but in how they handle temptation when it comes knocking. Temptation comes in many forms. It might be the promise of easy money, the allure of unchecked power, the appeal of cutting corners, or the validation that comes from fleeting attention. Each one tugs at a different part of us, whether it's greed, pride, insecurity, or the desire for comfort. It's designed to look enticing, to appear as though it offers a shortcut to happiness or success. But underneath that shiny exterior is a test of integrity, of principle, and of self-control. When faced with temptation, some people take the bait. They see the quick win and go for it, convincing themselves that it's a one-time decision, that nobody will notice, or that it's harmless in the grand scheme of things. But that moment of giving in is never as isolated as it seems. It starts to chip away at the foundation of their character. One small compromise leads to another, and before they know it, their principles are negotiable. They start rationalizing their actions, convincing themselves that the end justifies the means. But there are others who resist. Even when the temptation is strong, even when the rewards for giving in seem so much greater than the cost of standing firm, they hold their ground. They understand something profound, that character is not about what you do when the stakes are low. It's about what you do when the stakes are high, when the pressure is on, and when no one is watching. Choosing integrity over convenience is never easy. It can mean turning down a lucrative opportunity because it doesn't align with your values. It might mean walking away from relationships, jobs, or situations that promise comfort or success at the cost of your principles. It's not a glamorous process. It's often lonely and riddled with self-doubt. People might even question your decisions, accuse you of being too rigid, or not understanding how the real world works. But that's the thing about character, it doesn't require external validation. It's not about what others think of you. It's about who you are when you strip everything else away. It's about the quiet confidence of knowing that you stood firm, even when it was hard, even when it cost you something. The cost of standing firm can be significant. You might lose opportunities that seem life-changing in the moment. You might feel left out or overlooked. But what you gain is far greater than anything you lose. You gain self-respect, the trust of others, and a reputation for being someone who can't be swayed by fleeting rewards. And over time, those things become the foundation of a fulfilling and meaningful life. Temptation is universal. It doesn't discriminate, and no one is immune to its pull. But the way we respond to it is what sets us apart. Some people see it as an opportunity to test their resolve, to prove to themselves and the world that they are more than their desires. Others see it as an inconvenience, something to be indulged in and forgotten. The choice is always ours, and the consequences of that choice are ours too. What's often overlooked is that resisting temptation isn't just about avoiding negative consequences. It's about building something positive. Each time you choose integrity, you strengthen your character. Each time you resist, you make it a little easier to resist the next time. And over time, those small moments of resistance add up. They shape who you are, how you see yourself, and how others see you. But let's be real, resisting temptation isn't about being perfect. Nobody gets it right every time. Everyone has moments of weakness, moments they wish they could take back. But character isn't about never making mistakes, it's about what you do after those mistakes. Do you learn from them? Do you commit to doing better next time? Or do you let them define you? The truth is, temptation is as much about growth as it is about resistance. Every time you face it, you're given an opportunity to reflect on your values, to recommit to the principles that guide your life. It's not just a test of character, it's a chance to build it. And the more you face those tests, the stronger you become. What makes temptation so challenging is that it often appeals to our deepest insecurities. It whispers to us that we're not enough, that we need more money, more power, more validation to be happy or successful. But the people who handle temptation with grace understand that they already have enough. They know that true success isn't about what you gain, it's about who you become in the process. They understand that every shortcut comes with a hidden cost. It might save you time or effort in the moment, but it robs you of the chance to grow, to learn, to earn what you're striving for. And the satisfaction of achieving something the right way, that's something no shortcut can ever give you. So how do you cultivate the strength to resist temptation? It starts with self-awareness. Know your values, know what you stand for. And most importantly, know your weaknesses. Temptation thrives in ignorance in the spaces where we're not paying attention. But when you're aware of your vulnerabilities, you can prepare for them. Surround yourself with people who share your commitment to integrity. Their support will strengthen your resolve and remind you that you're not alone. And when you do stumble, don't beat yourself up. Use it as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to recommit to your values. Ultimately, temptation is less about the thing being offered and more about the person you're becoming. Every time you resist, you're not just saying no to a momentary desire, you're saying yes to the person you want to be. And over time, those small yeses add up to something incredible. So when temptation comes your way, and it will remember this, the way you handle it defines you. It's not about perfection, it's about progress, it's about standing firm, even when it's hard, even when it costs you something. Because in the end, the cost of compromise is always greater than the cost of integrity. And the reward of living with character, that's something no temptation can ever take away. So there you have it. 5 things. 5 simple, yet profound ways to see someone's true character. Watch how they treat people who can't do anything for them. Notice how they react under pressure. Pay attention to what they do when no one's watching. Observe how they handle success. And see how they face temptation. These 5 things, they'll tell you everything you need to know. Because character isn't just about what someone says, it's about what they do. It's about the choices they make, the way they treat others, and the principles they live by. True character goes far beyond surface level interactions or grand declarations. It's in the quiet moments when no one is watching, the subtle choices we make when no one else is keeping score.